What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is Ahsoka Season 1, Episode 7, Dreams and Madness. So it's weird that we started this season with 2 episodes named Something and Something, and then we didn't do it again. And now all of a sudden in Episode 7, it's Dreams and Madness. And then I looked at the title of the 8th episode, and I don't remember exactly what the words are now, but it's Something, Something, and Something. What are these naming conventions that you've used for these episodes? But anyways, this episode was fantastic, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that we get to see a lot more of Ezra and also a lot more of Thrawn. And those were the 2 characters that I was kind of worried about the casting and the acting and all of that, because as much as I like Sabine and Hera, I was not super attached to them. Thrawn, in my opinion, is one of the best Star Wars bad guys that has been introduced since Vader. Like, most of them have been okay, some of them have been better than others, but none of them have quite lived up to the hype. Thrawn, for me personally, is one of the best, because he's so intriguing to watch. His thought process and how intelligent and how strategic he is. It feels like even when he loses a battle, he never really loses, because he's always prepared for that possibility. And he's always prepared to take the next step after that loss to make sure they don't lose the next one, or to get a victory out of that battle somehow. So always so much fun to see him. And I actually found this out after watching this episode. I don't know how I didn't realize this, but the guy who voiced him in Rebels is also the one playing him here. And I think that really does help, because obviously it sounds just like Thrawn, but the guy knows how to play him, and he does it phenomenally in live action as well, which is great. The guy that got to play Ezra, he has this fun energy, this sort of youthful energy. Obviously he's not as young as he was, like the character is not as young as he was in the show, so he's grown up a little bit. And you can see when they have the action scenes, there are those moments when he seems like he's learned a lot about the Force in his time away, in his time of, I guess, solitude. So it's fun to see that, but he's still got this energy to him that I remember from watching Rebels, and it's a lot of fun to see that brought to life in this character. So the guy playing him is doing a great job so far. But yeah, overall, I mean, the episode was a lot of fun. I think the only 2 issues I have, first of all, is the general. It starts with an X. I don't remember, Zionis or something along those lines. The whole hearing with Hera and all of that, it's just not my favorite, because again, you've got this guy who, fingers crossed, he's corrupt, because if not, then he's just an idiot. And the thing is, there could be an interesting story here. Let's say he's not corrupt, but if we had gotten to see maybe where Hera had been caught in the past doing things that hurt the Republic, or maybe she stepped away from a battle that they ended up losing, or not even stepped away from a battle, just stepped away from some issue that kind of blew up in their faces because she heard something about possibly finding a way to Ezra, or anything to do with her personal life, I could understand this. But as it is, this guy just comes off as, oh, I don't like you because you're doing this stuff, and I don't like it, and I don't want to see, because, no, there's no problem here, guys. Everything's perfectly fine. It feels naive and ignorant. And I just hate characters who are written that way just to be a roadblock. You know, not for any other reason than just, hey, we need conflict, so let's have this one asshole who's in charge be this way for no reason whatsoever, except for, oh, well, I don't like the main character, so blah, 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 blah. It's lazy is what it is. And again, it would be so easily rectified if either one, again, possibility, he's corrupt, and he is a part of this Imperial resistance that's rising up, and so he doesn't want to bring light to it because he wants to keep it under wraps for now. Then at least, okay, he's got a reason. Or 2, you show us why he doesn't like Hera, and don't just make it because I am worried, since so many of the main characters in the show are female, I'm worried it's going to be like, oh, men just don't like powerful women. But I've seen that theme done to death at this point. It's basically a cliche to have the, oh, men are so intimidated by powerful women, so they're just going to make sure they can't be powerful. It's too lazy. It's too easy to do that. So just give me a good reason as to why he's acting this way, please. If not, then every scene he's in is just going to be frustrating for me to deal with. Even whenever all of a sudden Leia comes out of nowhere and helps Hera, he's still just, oh, but I still don't want to see that this is okay, because, oh, how are you gonna talk back to Leia of all people? Like, it's ridiculous. But anyways, the other issue I do have though is some of the scenes with Sabine and Ezra. One in particular is just the fight scene before the best fight scene, because the best fight scene was everything to do once they kind of got into a little circle, and then Ezra was fighting without his weapon, and Sabine was fighting Shen. That was a great fight scene. I loved a lot of that stuff. It was the fight before that where it was just them running away and the guys shooting at them and then them shooting back and then the little creatures throwing rocks at the guys. But it felt like that first battle-ish went on a little too long, because all it really was they're running away. The bad guys, I don't even know what to call them, marauders, I guess. They're trying to shoot at them while also trying to destroy the vehicles that the bug things are riding in. And it's just a lot of that. Shoot. Sabine hits a guy. They try to zap the vehicle. It doesn't work. Try to zap it again. It doesn't work. They get hit in the head with the rock. Zap it this time. And this time it does work. And I don't know. It was just too much of the same over and over again. And I don't know exactly how long it went on. It felt like it went on for 10 minutes. I don't think it was actually 10 minutes long. It felt like it though, because it was just boring. But then again, the fight scene that happened after was much better. So that felt fun. But the other thing too is this whole Sabine hiding from Ezra, how she got here and why she got here. Again, it feels like it's going to lead to conflict that's unnecessary. Like, just tell him the truth. Tell him what happened. Now he's sitting there at the end of this episode, and I mean, Ahsoka's probably going to say something, more than likely. So I don't understand why this is turning into oh yeah, I'm not going to talk about it. Okay, fine, you don't have to talk about it. It's just tell him the truth. Tell him you were tricked here almost to try to find him, but you helped people find Thrawn. He needs to know so that he can try to help you stop Thrawn from getting back. But instead, you guys are just sort of casually riding along as if the fate of the world is not at stake. I have a problem with that. And again, if they turn this into a lie reveal where all of a sudden Ezra's just like, oh, I can't believe you lied to me. I can't even look at you right now. I don't know. I just don't want there to be some third act breakup where they're basically fighting for most of this last episode because of that lie. I don't want that to happen, but I'm worried that's what they're going to do. And it's probably going to be frustrating if they do that. But who knows? Maybe he'll just be like, I don't know why you felt like you couldn't tell me this. Like, maybe we could have done something, but that's all it is he just is a little frustrated and they move on. But with that being said, I'm excited for the finale. You know, it's got me excited to see more, and that's probably the best compliment I can give to a live action Star Wars shows, because most of the time I'm just kind of ready to end the show. I'm just kind of ready to see, okay, so how do they want this all to wrap up? Can we just get there and be done finally? Most of the live action shows have made me feel this way. This is the first one where I'm excited to get to it because I'm excited to see how it's going to come to an end, not excited to see it end. And that's a big step up for me, especially since Mandalorian season 2, I've not really felt this way about any of the shows. But yeah, like I said, I think Thrawn is a great addition. I'm really worried because there's a part of me, I know Ahsoka is getting a season 2. I have seen that. So fingers crossed that maybe the story doesn't fully end. Maybe they just, the victory is them finding a way back, possibly. I'm hoping they don't either manage to fully stop Thrawn or kill Thrawn, because I want to see more of this character. I want to see more of him. I feel like we need a full season dedicated to trying to stop him. I don't want it to be another Cad Bane situation where they bring this great villain to life on live action and then 2 episodes later he's dead. I don't want that to be the same thing here, where we're finally getting to see Thrawn. He's very well done, well acted, well written. I'm excited to see more, and now 2 episodes later he's dead. I'm really concerned about that. So we'll see what they decide to do with it. I'm a little nervous that that's going to happen, but we'll see. One final thing that did pop into my head before I move on to the next episode, Baylan. I really don't know what's going on with him. He's very intriguing in a sense of, it doesn't feel like his goal is to help the Empire or help the Jedi, obviously. It just feels like he's sort of a wild card now, where he's trying to, I don't know, forward the Empire returning possibly, but he's not really a supporter of the Empire. He just sees it as this is the way of things. This is the fate of the Empire rises and then it fell, and then the Republic will rise and then it'll fall as the Empire rises again. He just sees it as like a cycle that kind of goes back and forth. And I don't know, he's talked about maybe trying to put an end to that cycle. So I don't know how that would work. I don't know what his plan is there. But yeah, he's kind of a wild card that's been implanted. We see here he tries to slow down Ahsoka because he realizes if she gets there, I'm assuming he realizes if she gets there on time to help them, they would have a chance to get back and stop Thrawn before he manages to get away. Again, don't know if that's what's going to happen, but it's kind of my thinking. And in his mind, Thrawn getting back is the way for the Empire to come back on the rise again. So I don't know for sure. It's kind of an interesting thought developing though with him and just what they're planning to do with his character going forward. But he's definitely a mystery. There's a lot of intrigue with his character, and I have to appreciate that the writers have given a character such unique motivations as far as, you know, the Empire normally just wants to rule and conquer everything, and the Republic, the good guys, are just trying to basically help everybody live free and save the world and type of thing. So to have somebody that's on really neither side and just kind of doing his own thing, seemingly, it's a little different, and I'm curious to see how much he's going to play into this final episode. With all that being said, though, on to the finale. I'll see you there. And finally, the Jedi, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Oh, Warlord. Sorry. I don't know why I got those two things mixed up. Anyways, pretty solid finale. I mean, first of all, like I was hoping, Thrawn is not thwarted or killed in this episode, which means we're going to get more of him, hopefully, in Ahsoka Season 2. And that gets me excited, because once again, he has played so well. And he's such a well-written bad guy, because as much as he's evil and as much as you hope the good guys win, you just know he's not going to go down easily. It's going to take something crazy to stop him. And that's where I'm excited to see what they decide to do with his story continuing. And knowing that there's going to be an Ahsoka Season 2, I'm excited to see how they handle it. I'm a little concerned with the fact that Ahsoka and Sabine are just on this other world now with no seeming way to get back, because there's a possibility that most of next season is just going to be, well, how are we going to get Ahsoka and Sabine back, or watching them try to get back? And I was kind of hoping it was just setting up for Thrawn is back, and now how are the rebellion going to, or I guess the Republic, going to stop him, and all of the things he's doing to, I guess, get the First Order going, if that's where this is going. Again, I don't know where this is leading. I don't know if this is supposed to lead toward the construction of the First Order, but it's very cleverly set up in a sense of he's a great villain to have for Season 2. And honestly, Season 1, you could say Morgan Elsbeth was more so the main villain, because here at the end, they stop her, kind of. While she technically gets her way in forcing Ahsoka to not be able to get on the ship, they still do manage to kill her and move on. And honestly, her story is kind of overshadowed, but it was interesting to see how she just wanted to find Thrawn for the Empire, but seemingly she was more so concerned about getting I'm assuming the Great Mothers back to Dathomir, because at the end she didn't respond with for the Empire, as for Dathomir. So I don't know what all that's going to lead to. I don't know if maybe the Great Mothers have their own agenda that they're just using Thrawn to accomplish, and if so, does he understand? Does he know about this, and he's actually letting them think they're using him? I don't know, because while Thrawn is a great commander, obviously he's not gifted in any sort of way outside of his high intelligence. So if they decide to use their magic on him, it'd be easy to thwart him. So I don't exactly know where that's going to go, but it does raise a lot of interesting possibilities. But as far as Sabine and Ahsoka are concerned, I do think this was a good wrap up for their story, for their arc in this season, where, Sabine has kind of been trying to do it her own way. She has been working with Ahsoka again, but there is that disconnect where she kind of wants to do what she wants to do without any sort of concern for what is best in the situation. And finally, here at the end, she has a chance to go back with Ezra, go back home and be able to be with him again. But in the end, she decides, no, it's better. Ahsoka needs me. Ahsoka needs me here. I don't know what they plan to do on this planet, but it feels like Ahsoka sees some possibility here when she, at the end, she's like, yes, we're where we're needed. I don't know if that's just her trying to be an optimist in this situation, like, oh yes, we can't get home, but this is all part of the Force. This is where we're supposed to be. I don't know if that's what she's trying to say, or if there is actually something that she sees that needs to be done here. We do see Shin shows up at the camp of these Marauder people that were helping her before. I don't know what that's leading to. Also, Baylan is standing on a statue of seemingly himself. So, is this where he comes from? Baylan is just so out there. I don't even know, and it's both frustrating that we didn't get any answers, but also kind of intriguing that they left so many possibilities for what his whole plan is and what he's doing now. I don't know. I'm excited to see more of that too. But yeah, I think where they left them off though, as far as Sabine and Ahsoka's relationship and master apprenticeship, I think it's a good stopping place for Sabine to have finally decided she needs to do not just what's best for her, not just what she wants, what is best for everybody. And in this case, it's best to essentially go with Ahsoka for now. Yeah, seeing Ezra get to go back home, though, is also a good conclusion for that, because, yeah, he's been gone for so long. So I think having him get to return home is a good wrap-up there. As far as the Republic goes, though, we still didn't really get any answers there. I hope they have some in the second season. Again, I want this guy that was fighting against Hera this whole season, I want him to have more of a purpose than just being the roadblock. Because if that's the case, again, it's lazy writing for me. I feel like it's too simplistic to just have somebody in charge try to stop people because, I don't want to see it your way. And I don't know, it's been done to death. I'm kind of sick of it at this point. So I really hope there's a good explanation as to why he was acting this way. But yeah, we don't really even see any of the Republic. We just see Hera getting to see Ezra at the end of this episode, and that's the only part of that story that we get. But yeah, I do think it sets up really well for a second season, though, with Thrawn being back and they're landing on Dathomir. It seems like a good base of operations for them. I don't know what, again, Thrawn's ideas are, what the Great Mother's ideas are. It's just a lot of good possibilities to be built out of that. But I really do hope whenever season 2 comes out, obviously it's not actually done yet. I don't know if they're in the process of filming it as I'm reviewing this series. I don't know if it's started yet, but I really do hope, though, going forward that we get to see not just half of the season is Ahsoka and Sabine trying to get back home, and then the other half is trying to stop Thrawn. I want it to be, we see maybe Ahsoka and Sabine are trying to get home in the first few episodes, but the other half of the story is Thrawn's plans, what he's trying to do, and how Ezra and Hera are trying to stop his plans. I want Thrawn to be very involved next season because he is, again, one of the best Star Wars villains, and I want to see more of him. I want to see more of what he's got in store, how he's going to work around. It was just one of the best things about Rebels. And I know that show is a lot more episodic, so you can do stuff like this where every episode is a different mission that the team is going on. But one of the things that lent to having a villain like Thrawn is every episode they're going to this mission. Sometimes they'll succeed, sometimes they'll fail, but at the end of the day, Thrawn is never really fazed by it because it always feels like he's got a plan B if he fails in plan A, or plan C if that fails too. It was a good way to have an episodic story while still having a villain that is intimidating and is intelligent. It was so much fun. So I'm kind of hoping we get something similar where maybe we have a few episodes dedicated to Ezra and Hera trying to stop Thrawn's plans. And maybe they stop a couple of his plans, but we see he's got something on the back burner that he then brings into the fray. That's one of the fun things that you can do with this character. So we'll see what they do next season. But as far as season 1 of Ahsoka, yeah, it was really good. It was, for me, easily the second best series. I still think Mandalorian has just a little bit more. And that's mainly because I think The Mandalorian is a little bit more tightly written, where it feels like they have an idea of what they're doing with that show. Granted, season 3 is where it fell off the tracks, but definitely season 1 and 2 for me. Mandalorian was a lot of fun. It felt like there was a good purpose, there was good writing, the action was pretty fun. This one, it was overall pretty good. I did still have my issues with it. And on top of that, it is coming off of a show that was really well done and really lent itself to being an animated show. So I do think there's a little bit lacking in this, having it live action. There's not as much they can do with certain things. But overall, I still think they did a good job with what they could have done. You know, with the idea of taking Rebels and turning it into more live action and also making Ahsoka the focal point. I like a lot of what they did with the characters this season. None of the characters felt out of character, which I think is a really good thing to have whenever you're taking some really well done characters in Rebels and bringing them to live action. Sometimes you can lose a little bit when it comes to character development in that sense. But I think everybody played their parts well. Even though I do think Mary Elizabeth Winstead was not properly cast as Hera, for the most part, she still played her fine. Yeah, I do think the casting was maybe not quite right for her. Everybody else I thought was cast really well though, and they played their parts to perfection. So overall, great season, and I'm excited to see more. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on this first season and these final 2 episodes? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Ahsoka reviews. And until next time, I hope you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you all later. Peace out.